This talk is sponsored by Radicle. Radicle is a peer-to-peer stack for building software together. Built on protocols instead of platforms, Radicle provides creators with the secure and uncensorable code infrastructure, tools for collective code governance, and new ways to earn for open source work. Learn more at radicle.xyz.
Hey everyone, I hope you are enjoying Web3Con so far. Uh, at the time of this recording, the hackathon is still going on, and I'm super excited about all the different teams who are building these awesome projects. And I can't wait to see those projects in action soon. Uh, but anyways, today with this talk, I'll try to share my open source software journey with Developer DAO and how it basically changed my career. Uh, so yeah, hopefully this will be useful to some of you. Uh, so let's just get started with it. Um, First of all, just a little bit of info about my background. Um, I'm a 21-year-old front-end engineer from India, and I'm now fortunately working full-time in Web3. I currently work for Missouri and the Moonshot Collective. Um, and at Developer DAO, I'm working on building Web3 UI, which is a React UI library for Web3 specific use cases. Um, and yeah, I love open source, and I'm all about building free open source software, and I'm trying to become a better maintainer each day. And today, hopefully, I'll share some insights on how developer DAO helped me become a better open source developer. So let's just get started. So before we talk about my Web3 stuff, when I made the jump to Web3, I wasn't totally new to open source software. I had already published some packages to npm. This one in particular, called React Link Preview, was did really well. It helped a lot of people and is used by so many people. It has around 50K downloads by now, which is insane for someone who's as new to the industry as me. Uh, but I had absolutely zero experience in writing code for Web3 apps. I did have a little bit of knowledge about how to interact with smart contracts on Ethereum networks, EVM based chains, but I had never really worked on a real project or made something like React Link Preview, which was used by someone at least, right? So that's basically what Developer DAO helped me do. Developer DAO helped me land gigs in Web3. It helped me build open source software for Web3. um, so yeah, I basically joined Developer DAO in September. um, I had been following Nader for a long time. He I found out about him through his content about AWS and stuff like that. But I eventually got my first experience with Web3 stuff in 2020 through one of his tutorials. I learned, I went through the tutorial, I built the app, but I'd never really actually got into Web3 at the time. Of course, the hype wasn't as much back in 2020, so I continued working as a Web 2 engineer, and just freelancing basically. Uh, but as all of us know, in 2021, Web3 suddenly uh, grew in popularity. Everyone was suddenly talking about NFTs and DAOs, and DAOs really interested me. And that's basically when Nader tweeted about this new DAO called Developer DAO, which was supposed to be just an experiment, but it turned out to be just way more than that. This conference is proof for that. So yeah, I just minted that NFT because I trust neither a lot, um, and I just thought that why not? The NFT was free. I only paid the gas, so why not? And it was actually my first ever mainnet contract interaction. That's how unfamiliar I was with Web3 at the time. Um, but yeah, I just jumped into the DAO. I started talking to people. I made some new friends. And the first project that I worked on is the Developer DAO website project, which is basically the website you see at developerdao.com. It's very different now, but yeah, that's basically the first project that I got involved in. Um, at the time, we were mostly people coming from Web 2 into Web 3. None of us really had a substantial amount of experience in Web 3. None of us really knew our way around. We just had these JavaScript skills, and we just wanted to build cool open source software together. So we started out by building a website for the DAO where people could just view their NFTs. It was pretty silly, but it was fun. As you can see in this screenshot, those are basically my first commits for the DAO. Um, yeah, that's how it started, and the DAO grew in popularity really quickly. Around December, all of the NFTs were sold out, and suddenly we had more than just like a Discord server. We now had these guilds. So we have one guild for development, one guild for community, for marketing, etc., etc. Um, so that's basically when I had the idea for this this project that I'm currently working on, which is called Web3 UI. It is basically a React UI library for Web3, as the screenshot says. Um, there are a lot of big changes coming to this project later this month, but up till now, I think we have made some really good components, which are definitely useful, but we have also learned a lot of stuff about just building a good UI library so that people can actually use it in their Web3 projects. So uh, yeah, so I basically started by uh, posting about this idea that I had on Twitter and in the Discord, and a lot of people seem to be interested in it. I received a really good response on the Discord. A lot of people were really excited about it on Twitter because they said that they had been looking for something similar, but there wasn't really anything. So yeah, I have been building this thing in public from even before it existed. um, and yeah, today it has around 450 stars, which is insane. I and it because it's still like solidly in development. It's not ready for use. It's probably not really useful in its current state, but we have learned a lot of new things. We have a lot of people have made their first contribution to Web3 via this project, which is worth so much more than just a few uh, metrics. So amazing. And this project would not have been possible without all of these people who are as passionate about this project as me. Some of these people, especially Eric, Camila, and Nazi, helped me set up this project in the beginning. Also, a huge shout out to Withart and Yovi, who have helped me so much whenever I have had some issues regarding maintaining this project, and just some usual open source stuff. But yeah, if I had been working on this project individually, just as one person, I don't think this project would have still existed, because yeah, it's so much more than just me coding. Some of these people have worked on multiple components, uh, and all of us have been working on this asynchronously without ever meeting each other, even on Discord. I think we have only ever met once throughout these 4 months, uh, which I'm super proud of. We have managed to work so well asynchronously. I'm really proud of what we have built up till now, and we have so much more to build in the future. Mhm. So basically, what I have been doing during my time at Developer DAO, and what I want to continue doing, is building free and open source software in public. The reason why I want to do this is, first of all, free and open source software is so essential in a decentralized world. In Like, even if it's not a decentralized world, just like free and open source software is absolutely essential. I cannot stress that enough. I'm absolutely a maximalist in that regard, if you will. It it lets people build on top of what other people have built already, uh, and that concept of having building blocks is just incredible. And but doing that in public, as an individual, in terms of my career, and also in terms of just working, is super helpful, because it lets me display or showcase my work to people on social networks like Twitter, or on Discord, um, get feedback from them. It helps people notice me. It really helps with visibility for the project itself, and both for me as an individual. um, and it Of course, it's also a great way to get people to try your open source project and gather some feedback. So yeah, that's basically what I have been doing, and I highly encourage all of you to at least try doing this. I know that this building in public is not for everyone, and not everyone should force themselves to do it. But I highly recommend trying it. It can pay solid dividends for you, and just yeah, it just makes your life much easier as an individual dev in Web3. Um, One great example of how I have been sharing my work, and how Developer DAO has helped me do that, is tweets like this one. So I basically just made a quick GIF of this connect wallet button that we have. It's not actually visible in this particular screenshot, but it's like a 5-second long GIF which shows me writing code to display a connect wallet button. uh, and Developer DAO basically retweeted whenever I tweeted something like this, and not only the DAO's account, but other members of the DAO also posted messages of encouragement. They provided feedback. They showed some love, and it was super helpful. And that's how a lot of people got to know about this project. Um, and not it wasn't like all just positive messages. Some people also gave me some useful feedback, so that was super nice too. um, so yeah, I'm super grateful that I get to build open source software in at Developer DAO, and I so the problem that so many open source developers have is that they build these amazing open source tools, but n- people don't even know that they exist. Developer DAO is like helping me solve that problem. It basically giving my work a lot of visibility. uh, since my work is totally free and open, uh, I need people to use it for it to have any actual meaning, right? If no one is using it, what's the point, right? So Developer DAO and everyone in the DAO has been super supportive, and I'm so grateful for all the support throughout. And um, one of the best moments of my journey building open source software in Web3 has been showing off Web3 UI to Austin Griffith. Austin is one of the OG educators in the Web3 space. I learned a lot about blockchains and Ethereum from his videos. He's the author of tools like Scaffold ETH, which is a huge inspiration behind for Web3 UI. Um, and I actually got to show my project to him. He was super kind and he found it really cool, so he decided to make it a YouTube video, and it's now out there for anyone to see. Um, um, this wouldn't have been possible without a Developer DAO, because the person who actually pushed me to do it was Ryan. A huge shout out to Ryan, coordinator. If you're seeing this, you are amazing. He pushed me to message Austin and let him know about this tool that I have been building. And yeah, he basically just did an intro uh, for both of us, and now we are here. Now I got to show my project to one of my teachers, and it was just like this too good to be real moment. But it was super nice showing it to him and gathering feedback from him, because he's so knowledgeable and so experienced in this space. So yeah, another thing that wouldn't have been possible without Developer DAO. So of course I learned a lot of things about building open source software at the DAO. Um, I did have some, like I said, I did have some experience building open source software before I joined the DAO, but after I joined the DAO, it just the level of experience that I have and the things that I know, I just didn't know that stuff at all before I joined. Some of that stuff is listed here. I'll just go over some of the important things. So, one of the most important things that I learned while working on open source software at the DAO is how to document stuff and how important documentation is. Um, like I mentioned before, the entire Web3 UI team is based all around the world. We have actually never met synchronously on Discord apart from that one-off short call that we had. So we absolutely needed good documentation in terms of well documented issues, well written PR reviews, and just overall good communication on Discord as well. Uh, so that's something I had to learn really quickly, but I'm so glad that I did. And some of the people at the DAO who are extremely experienced in open source, they helped me learn all of this. So again, I'm super grateful that I get to be with all of these amazingly talented people who are always willing to share their knowledge with new people like me. One more extremely important thing that I learned while like building Web3 UI is finding the right balance between making something too opinionated and making something too flexible. So as when you are working on building a library, which is what you are doing most of the time when you are building open source software, you need to think about how people will use it, who's going to be using it, where they are going to be using it, and what level of flexibility and features they'll need. And this is an extremely tough decision to make. There are a lot of things that there are a lot of factors that decide what you go with. Um, I certainly got a lot of things wrong with Web3 UI in the beginning, but I think I learned from all of that and improved my decision making gradually. But and I still have a lot to learn. But some maintainers who are also DAO members, they helped me make these tough decisions. They also explained why they think I should make that decision. Um, so I'm again, I kind of sound like a broken record at this point, but yeah, I'm extremely grateful that I get to work with these amazing people. I cannot stress that enough. And last but not the least, I learned about building free open source software. Um, I feel like I always had this desire for building free open source software, even when I wasn't into Web3. I had no idea that this entire world of Web3 even existed. But the the love for open source software inside Developer DAO and the amount of care that the entire DAO puts behind, just making sure that the people who are building these open source software are feeling are feeling good. Uh, the DAO is always there to support people who are building this stuff. So I'm just so grateful that I have this environment where building open source software is the default instead of just spinning up a private repo on GitHub. It's just amazing to be in such a different space after having worked on shitty private code bases for almost 2 or 3 years. Before I end this talk, I want to give a huge shout out to two people. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Withart. Um, like the slide says, he's one of the kindest and the most talented person I have met in the DAO. Uh, he's a core team member at Developer DAO and also the Dev Guild leader. Um, he has worked at the Chakra UI core team. Of course, he's insanely knowledgeable about open source. He loves documenting stuff. Um, that's basically this is basically the person who taught me all I know about documenting open source stuff. And he's an incredibly good friend of mine, and I'm super grateful to have him alongside me at the DAO. He has mentored me as this new guy who just had this idea of wanting to build a UI library, but had no actual idea how to do it. He actually held my hand and actually helped me set up the project, and publishing this to NPM. So super, super, super grateful to Vithart for all he did for me and the DAO. And I also want to give a massive shout out to Yovi. He's also an amazingly experienced open source person. He has worked on the Preact and Arcual core teams. And this Yovi always has an answer for any open source question that I ever had. If I ever had any questions about why my package was not working as intended, why something was not showing up on npm, Yovi was always there to answer those annoying questions for me, even when he didn't have to. And I just feel like everyone should have a person like Yovi alongside them when they are building something new, because having with Heart and Yovi alongside me when I was still so new to everything. Because remember, I was still new to Web3, and I was still new to actually maintaining an open source project. So I had to take all of this in, and these two people took some weight off of my shoulders and made me feel okay. Uh, so I'm super, super, super grateful for Yovi and Vithar. Both of you are amazing. So thank you. Thanks for taking a time out to listening to my talk. Hopefully it wasn't too boring. If you ever want to like chat about anything that I talked about in the talk, or just in general, feel free to connect with me on Twitter. Um, and I go by the same username on GitHub as well. If you want to check out some of my work I've been doing, yeah, it was super nice having this opportunity to talk at Web3Con. So thanks to the entire team for giving me this opportunity and for organizing such an awesome event. And thanks to all the Developer DAO members who have made the DAO what it is today. Um, I think we have done. I think we have come so far in just a few months, and just imagine how the things that we can do in the future. So I'm super, super bullish on Developer DAO's future. Let's keep on building the DAO. Let's keep on building free open source software. I hope you enjoy the rest of Web3Con, and I'll see you soon.